Good morning. When I first got out of college, I worked for State Farm right up here on Sherwood. And you could bet most of the time when people came in to get insurance, when you asked for the employment, it was Chiquola Mill. A lot of people. A lot of people have passed through this building, or what's left of it, but it's still in the hearts of a lot of us and people who've been associated with this town. This is the result of people actually working together to get something done. It takes an entire delegation to get things done. And it takes people working at the local level as a team with a delegation to get it done. And this is the result.
I feel a sense of relief. You know, I was here when it was a mill and people were working in here day and night, and I can remember the smell of a textile mill. But to know now that a site that's been a sore here for a long time, it's actually been a danger to the community and the people of the town, is actually going to be put into a state where it's ready for redevelopment. And clean as well.
This plan was community driven based off of some of the existing architecture and buildings that are here. And so the anchor building, which currently stands, would be a gymnasium and event center, anchored again by sidewalks and crosswalks back into downtown. And so this is really more about the social connectivity and the physical connections back into the historic mill village.
I think it's going to be more of a gateway type of project for the entire town of Honea Path that will be the shot in the arm they need to continue to progress toward, you know, what it is their vision, whatever their vision may be for the town of Honea Path.
For the last 10 to 12 years, this mill site's been in the condition it's in currently, which is an eyesore for our town and very detrimental to this community. Previous administrations, they tried to get it cleaned up. They did get one company to come in and they demolished it and then they left the ruins. So that was no fault of the mayor and council at the time. It was just how crooked people do business. But we've pushed hard for 4 or 5 years now since I've been mayor to get something done over here. We've tried many things. We've offered it to people for free to clean up and develop, and nobody was interested because of the asbestos and lead paint. But finally, thanks to Stentech and the Brownsfield grant, we do have enough money now to clean it up and do some beautification to it as well. Like I said, our grant was for $2.65 million, and we already have $1 million in the bank from the state from last year we still have. So we ready, and now we're on our way, and we got enough to do it.
A man broke his leg, the other men went in and milked his cow, fed his chickens and hogs. If the lady was having a baby, the women went in and took care of that family, cooking for them and everything else. They give a week of vacation. They always had a big barbecue. They cooked pigs all night in the ground. They had insurance. Pay was fair. And the reason the strike was they went around a rider team from mill to mill because kids were working in the mill 8 and 9 years old. Miss Nina Gimmer lived down here close to the McCoy Lumber Company. I went out and see her one day and she had a finger missing. I said, Miss Nina, how'd you lose your finger? She said, I was 9 years old in the spinning room and that belt whipped my finger off. Do you know what they'd done? I said, no ma'am, I had to work the rest of the shift. Now if they got tipped off the government was coming, they put these kids in 55-gallon drums and covered them in cotton. Now if they'd have put me in one, they know I was there because I'd have sneezed my head off.
So you've seen it go through a lot of different phases.
Changes, yes sir. Mill windows were not bricked up, and when they bricked them up, when you went into work, that's when I was working, you'd get off the elevator, walk around on the spare floor, your shirt would be soaked to your belt. You'd get you a drink of water and you'd hang over the water fountain half the night and they'd give you a salt bill. And they finally got it fixed, you know, air-conditioned mill.
Tommy's born and raised on this mill. He's here for his whole life. And he told me a while ago, he said, I hope I live long enough to see it happen. And Tommy, I hope you do too. I hope we all do. It means more to folks like that. I had an aunt that worked in this mill for 40 years. And it made a lot of people in this town a good living.
I want to encourage all of us to continue the great Anderson County teamwork that seems to make a lot of good things possible.
It's been dedicated on the federal side with the grant, but the state has already appropriated in the budget. So the total amount of 3.56 is there. I think we're going to see a lot of progress here for the people of Honea Path.